So what is the difference in people who reach their goals and those who don't? There's a definite routine and strategy between those who are high achievers and those who set the same goals for themselves over and over again. It's a brand new year, and if you have locked in on some nutrition, fitness, or physique goals for yourself, you're gonna wanna hear this because I've identified my top 5 strategies, and I'm gonna share them with you today so that not only can you win, but you can hold your success and love the lifestyle that you create around it. Hi friends, welcome. If you're brand new here, my name is Valentino. I'm a nutritionist and a professional athlete. I have been coaching women from all over the world for the last 16 years, and I'm excited to share with you today some things that I've identified between people who achieve their goals and those who don't. If you find value here, make sure you do all the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, comment. I would appreciate it. When I first work with a brand new client one-on-one, and they come to me and they tell me what their goal is, normally that goal lacks clarity. Clarity is the top thing that you have to lean in on if you are setting a large goal for yourself. I'll have a woman come to me and they'll say, hey, I want to lose weight. Or, hey, I ran a marathon, I want to get faster. Or they might be a brand new mom that just wants to get their body back. I want to get back. What does that mean? So one of the number one things that I will tell you to do first is to gain ultimate clarity around exactly where you want to go. If you had a friend that called you and said, hey, we're having a party this Friday night at 7, you want to come? You're like, yes, of course, I'll be right there. And you're like, tell me the address. And they're like, it's west. You're like, do you have an address? No, I'm not sure. It's just west. And it's at 7 on Friday. Don't forget, 7. You're never going to get there because you're not crystal clear on exactly where you're going. The same thing happens with our goals. We have to get really granular on exactly what winning looks like for us. So sit down with a piece of paper, grab your notes section in your phone. If you were to have your dream body given to you by a magic genie, but it was only going to be given to you with every single detail that you wrote, get that crystal clear. Number 2 is having realistic expectations. It is so important that you understand what your efforts are going to render. I had a woman last week who we structured a plan for. She had a 50-pound weight loss goal. And we came back to our first check-in session. She's like, man, I'm disappointed. I'm like, oh, really? Tell me, what? Tell me, why are you disappointed? She's like, I only lost 4 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, we only had you training 3 times a week. And yes, we did shift your nutrition slightly. And really, I structured things that way so that she would start a pattern of winning. She had never had a pattern of winning before. And I was like, well, did you do the things you're supposed to do? Yeah, I did those. But it's not the result that I want. And I was like, well, yeah. Right. And so out of the, 156-ish hours in the week, you do realize that you spent only 2.5 of those focused on changing your body, right? And so making sure that you understand that your application and your efforts are going to equal your result and being realistic about the time frame that it's going to take to achieve those. If you're not realistic, you're going to quit on yourself because you're going to have this expectation of excellence that doesn't equal the amount of effort that you put in. So if you do a low amount of effort, you're not going to achieve excellence, okay? So making sure, now a low amount of effort for a long period of time will get you there for sure, absolutely. But making sure that you are setting realistic expectations for the efforts that you're applying. That's gonna keep you locked in and make sure that you understand that, hey, you can celebrate these things as a win because you didn't really give that much to it. So if the needle moved forward, great, that's amazing, keep going. Okay, so setting realistic expectations is number 2. So number 3, maybe the most important, is the schedule and the plan. So you can't just say, hey, I just want to be better. We have to have a plan and we have to schedule that plan. Having a plan is about knowing yourself and knowing who you are and knowing how you achieve things. So I earned my IFBB professional status in the world of bodybuilding in the category figure. To achieve that level of excellence, you can't do these things without a plan. I remember someone saying to me when I was in the thick of competing, they were like, man, you must have the most amazing willpower. And I was like, actually, I don't. And they kind of looked at me like, whatever, okay. And I was like, no, I don't, but I know myself and I plan around knowing myself. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I know that if I bring sugar into my house, I will eat it. So I don't bring it in my home. And they were kind of digging a little bit deeper and they were like, okay, well, how do you structure your fitness? And I was like, well, I know that I am a busy entrepreneur. I know my level of coaching. I know how many emails I get in today. I know how my kids function. I know that if you have kids, something's always happening that's going to derail your plan for the day. I was like, so I do my fitness first thing in the morning because that's where I know it's going to happen. The other thing that I absolutely plan is I plan my food. Now, yes, I am a nutritionist. I eat 98% of what I eat. I cook. I don't like cooking, so don't be confused there. But my goals, my physique, the way that I perform, the way my brain functions, those are non-negotiables for me. Also, I want to be sexy. Like every woman on the planet, if you're being honest, you want to look great and you want to feel good in your body. So understanding who you are, how your life flows, putting those things in place to where you're playing offense and not defense, and scheduling those in because you have said that they're important to yourself is how you move that needle forward in winning and reaching your goals versus not and having to reset that goal again for yourself. Number 4, do the hard things first. The more we do things that we don't want, the more we train our brain to just not hesitate. We decide, we make our move, and we go for it. The hard thing for me is getting to the gym and getting my workout accomplished. I get up, I have my clothes laid out and my coffee ready. I just hit start. Like I set myself up to flow in the morning and to win. I do the hard thing first. And you know what's amazing? I'm driving home at 6 a.m. in the morning and I have checked the box on the hardest thing of the day. That lowers your anxiety. You started your day off with a win. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to stress about it. It's done. So number 4, people who win, people who achieve, they do the hard things first. Okay, number 5, and maybe my favorite. Emotions. Emotions create the quality of your life. They also define the things that we do and the way that we show up to do them. I read somewhere, F your feelings, stick with the plan. And I was like, for whatever reason, that just really hit my soul. And I was like, you know what? That. How many times do we get in our feelings? Or we have something that happens during the day and we're just like, oh gosh, it's just been a hard day. I don't want to go do the thing I said I was going to do. If we think about some of the greatest sports events that we've seen in history, I mean, one of the best is some of the replays of our Olympic gymnasts through the years who had major injuries, tears running down their face. And what did they do? They got back up and they finished. If you've ever done any type of sports, I love horseback riding, man, the falls you take, you have to get back on and you do it again. You get back on and you do it again. And you basically program your brain to be able to flow and function through and to step up on the things that feel hard. And when you start to create that pattern in your brain, you never fail. You actually rise to hard situations and hard occasions. I hear high achievers say is that one of the disillusions of life is thinking that it should be easy. There's nothing in life worth having that didn't come from effort, that wasn't hard, that wasn't a breakthrough. If you sit down with any person ever and you say, hey, what is your greatest success? Tell me your greatest success that what are you most proud of? Because we all have at least one thing, okay? It's not going to be something that was handed to them. They're going to tell a story about how they defied all odds to achieve the thing that they set out to achieve, the thing that they said that they would. Some women tell me the story because I'll ask these stories. If I have a woman come to me and they're like, gosh, I just don't win anything, or, I kind of can feel that their mindset's off. I'm like, no, tell me about that time in your life that you achieved greatness. What are you most proud of? I have some women say to me, my greatest achievement was birthing my child. Yeah, absolutely it was. Yes, ma'am. Tell me more. Your greatest achievements were you overcoming obstacles that were put in your way that you should have failed from, that you should have fallen flat on your face with, that you were up against deadlines or times or massive amounts of stress or hardships. Those things that you're most proud of, they weren't handed to you. So if you're setting a large goal for yourself and you've caught yourself in a pattern of defeat, I want you to realize a few things. Make a plan. Don't be derailed by your emotions, and realize that even if you feel those emotions, do it anyway. You're going to create that winning success and you're going to see it through to completion, and you're going to live in that body, that health, that physique, that composition, that energy level that you've been chasing for a long time. So I would love to hear if there's a strategy that I missed, there's something that you've implemented in your life that has taken you from zero to hero. Drop it in the comments below. I want to celebrate that with you. If you're brand new here, welcome. I'm happy that you're here. If you grabbed value from this video, please like and share, do all the things that you do on YouTube. I would appreciate it. And I will see you on next week's episode. And in the meantime, I'm cheering for you.